So I'm in the office today and I got the mail, and I got this package in the mail, Christmas in November. I come from a Thomas Cloud from New Zealand. He runs a beekeeping outlet store called Saracel, and he just left me a note. I'm a beekeeper myself, running about 100 hives here in New Zealand, as well as working for Saracel Beekeeping Supplies. Saracel is one of New Zealand's largest beekeeping supplies companies. We supply many countries including Australia, Canada, and the United States, as well as many other countries. We currently have a new product on its way to Mike Gordon, who is a manager at Bee Made in Winnipeg. I noticed you buy many supplies from him. If you'd like to look at this new top feeder my father and I have invented, you may be interested in switching up your syrup feeding system. Bee Made is currently ordering some in. I'm sending you a sample just to try it out. So this is interesting, and then he goes on to say, I'd like to send you one of our newest products. It's a design that you currently use, but it's a plastic injected mold. It's a bee escape. Included is also a frame, a small hive beetle resistant frame. Try them out, let me know what you think. Okay, so see what's in here. So I just want to mention, you'll notice I have been trying out products from other beekeepers and other stores all through my videos here, and I just want to mention that I'm not selling any of this stuff. Like the feed supplements I use, these products that I'm talking about here, these little gadgets I got, you know, the easy loader that I work on, like none of this stuff I get paid for. I mean, I'm not a salesman, I'm just a beekeeper who is trying to figure out some beekeeping strategies. And I just think, and I have no problem whatsoever looking at these products and talking about them and trying them out. You guys got to realize that I do give honest opinion, and so sometimes things might come around to bite you in the butt, but I just feel that our industry needs innovation. Our industry needs to share ideas and develop better products, just to create better tools for beekeepers to use to help manage our work and a lot of our problems. So if I can support ideas and innovation and such just by providing them online here, then I'm more than happy to do that, just to contribute to the overall benefit of our industry. So that's my overall motivation and all this kind of stuff. But I do give honest opinion because that's just what I do. So anyways, enough of the blab. Let's see what I got here. All the way from New Zealand. So here's this frame he's talking about. This is super cool. So it's just like a standard plastic frame, but you'll notice along the edges where there's typically a blank spot on most other plastic injected frames, he's actually got honeycomb through there, so the bees could actively use it, I guess. And I guess that doesn't provide a space for the beetle to hide out. So we don't have beetles up here in Manitoba. It's not a concern yet, and thank God for that. So I can't really comment on whether or not this will help with beetles or not, but it is an interesting idea. It certainly is. I can see this getting filled up with propolis. I don't know why guys just don't make this like rigid, like completely filled right in. I guess it adds to the weight of the frame, but it would eliminate that space issue. So I'm guessing they would just fill that in with honey and such and just treat it as all the rest of the cells on the frame. So that is a really neat idea. Patent pending. Saracel. Okay, so here's the escapes he's talking about. It looks like he sent me 2 escapes. These are the Here's the cones. So this is all plastic injected molding, so he's got himself. So this is just clicks. Looks like he's got one in there already. So you just click in here like this. So then with all 10 cones clicked in, this will sit on top of the hive. The bees will exit through the cones. And you would be concerned about the boxes sliding off the plastic. It looks like there's little tabs here where the box will kind of sit down in to keep it from sliding. Same with underneath here. So it looks like that's been thought about. Seems pretty durable. I have some concerns about the cones, whether or not they'll break off or not. Probably provide some feedback on updating the cone. These little tabs here. And it works. It's just on a rough and tumble day with the crew throwing stuff around. It's gotta make sure that this part of it doesn't fall out. This is the most crucial part. So all in all, I'm going to throw them on my hives next year to see how they work out. Put it right into the middle of production and see how durable this thing is. My guys, you know, they work with the boards. I don't know about your guys, but mine were working with the boards, and then near the end of the day or the end of the week, things start getting thrown around a little bit more than it should. So it's got to be durable. So we'll try to find that out. They also sent me these hive top feeders, which look extremely intriguing. What it looks like is two, you know, kind of bowls, removable here, and this would sit on top of your nuke. The bees would come up and access the syrup through these little entrances on the side. So the bees would crawl up and in, and this would keep the bees from drowning. So they just have a little ladder to move up and down in. Well, this looks neat. I can see how this would be very useful. Keep the bees from drowning, provide easy access to fill up the feeders, easy to clean, easy to store. Another piece of equipment to handle, but this looks like it'd be extremely useful. One thing about hive top feeders is you got to make sure that when you put it on your hive that you have a proper seal. More so the where the lid comes on. If there's a crack here, the bees will get in and they'll rob. So the seal on top is extremely important. So you can do that with a piece of burlap. I know beekeepers around here that use hive top feeders, they use a piece of burlap over top and then the lid down, so that it kind of seals all the access from the outside, so the bees can access the syrup from underneath. Here's another one he sent. This is for an 8 frame box. The same idea, you have your access along the sides here, and a ladder so the bees don't drown. And he's got a center access here, which is important because when you put this down on top of your hive cover, inner cover, you can match that up with your inner cover wall. So it sits down, the bees climb up, and there's a little ladder inside by the looks of it, and a cover to prevent any drowning. So this looks like a pretty versatile piece of equipment, and stackable. And we'll see how it works out. I don't use hive top feeders in my operation. I use pail feeders, and I doubt I'll be switching over to hive top feeders just because my investment's already been made into pail feeders. But I'll try. I don't have an 8 frame equipment here, but I can modify this to fit a single box. So I'm going to try that out, and I'm going to try this out on one of my nukes just to see how it works out. there's one disadvantage with pail feeders is when you're trying to feed the bees syrup and it's cold or it's slow, you get that drip. And the pail will drip onto the ground. It's very annoying. You get wildlife come like raccoons or deer or skunks, they'll come and knock the pails off and defeats the whole bloody purpose. A feeder like this, I can see putting a feeder like this on top with a lid, the wildlife won't disturb this as much as they do with the pail feeders. There is absolutely no chance of drip with these because it's there's no way the bees have to actually climb up and climb back down to access the syrup. And you can still access your feeders without actually opening up your hive, because you put this onto your hive, and I assume there'd be like an inner cover here with an entrance matching up with the entrance spots. So you can put this on top of your hive and open up the lid, fill up your feeders with the amount of feed that you want to give them without actually having to disturb the hive itself, which is important if you ask me. Downside is you need to have this shim. It's more equipment to haul around, but it's stackable, easy to clean. I can see these lasting for a long time. It's plastic, feels durable. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see how it works out. So there you go, Thomas. Thank you for sending this equipment to me to run as a trial. Next year I'll put it into my work and I'll see how it holds out, and I'll give you some feedback, and you can take it from there.